Our journey begins in the year 1460, in the small coastal town of Sines, Portugal, where a young Vasco da Gama was born. This quaint town, kissed by the Atlantic, was the first playground of our young explorer. As the third of 5 sons to a noble family, Vasco inherited a thirst for adventure and a sense of duty from his father, who was a distinguished soldier and explorer himself. In an era where the maritime culture of Portugal was flourishing, Vasco's upbringing was steeped in tales of the sea, of distant lands, and of the treasures that lay beyond the horizon. This environment nurtured his curiosity and ambition, leading him to join the Navy as a young man. Honing his skills under the tutelage of experienced seafarers, he rapidly rose through the ranks, proving his mettle as a naval officer. Little did the world know, this young man would grow up to change the face of global trade and exploration forever. As Vasco grew older, the allure of the sea grew stronger. His youth in Sines, a coastal town in Portugal, was steeped in a culture where maritime pursuits were not just a way of life, but a path to new discoveries and possibilities. The vast blue expanse of the sea was a canvas upon which Vasco da Gama began to paint his dreams. Portugal in the 15th century was a nation enthralled by the sea. The maritime culture was a siren song that echoed through the narrow cobblestone streets of Vasco's town, whispering tales of distant lands and untold treasures. This seafaring nation was on the cusp of the age of discovery, and young Vasco was swept up in the tide. Drawn to the mysteries of the sea, Vasco found himself consumed by a fascination with navigation. The stars that speckled the night sky were not just points of light for him, but a celestial map guiding seafarers to their destinations. He dived deep into the study of navigation, learning about the intricate workings of the compass, the quadrant, and the astrolabe. His naval training began under the watchful eye of seasoned mariners. Vasco's early voyages were lessons in resilience and adaptability. He learned to read the moods of the sea, to navigate by the stars, and to trust his instincts. Each voyage was a step towards mastering the art of navigation and a step closer to his dream. As he honed his skills, Vasco's reputation as a capable and fearless navigator grew. He proved his mettle in several naval expeditions, demonstrating a knack for leadership and strategic thinking. His passion for the sea, combined with his navigational prowess, caught the attention of the King of Portugal. The stage was set for Vasco's greatest journey, a journey that would change the world. The call of the sea had beckoned, and Vasco da Gama, with his heart full of dreams and his mind armed with knowledge, was ready to answer. In 1497, King Manuel I of Portugal entrusted Vasco da Gama with a mission of enormous significance. This mission was to discover a sea route to India, bypassing the treacherous land route dominated by the Ottoman Empire. Vasco da Gama, a man of courage and determination, set sail from Lisbon with a fleet of 4 ships. His journey was not without obstacles. The sailors battled tempestuous seas, navigated through unknown waters, and struggled with scurvy. Yet, da Gama's leadership saw them through. He charted a course around Africa's Cape of Good Hope, a feat thought impossible by many. After a perilous journey of over 10 months, the sight of the Malabar coast of India greeted their weary eyes. The date was May 20th, 1498. They had arrived in Calicut, a bustling hub of the spice trade. The interaction with the Indian ruler, the Zamorin, was a blend of fascination and misunderstanding. The Zamorin was intrigued by these foreign seafarers, but was unimpressed by the gifts da Gama brought, expecting something of equal value to the spices and silks of India. The cultural and linguistic differences compounded the situation. Still, da Gama managed to secure a trading agreement, albeit a shaky one. Despite the hurdles, Vasco da Gama's voyage was a game-changer. He had not only discovered a direct sea route to India, but also opened up a whole new world of opportunities for trade and exploration. His journey marked the beginning of the Age of Discovery, transforming Portugal into a world superpower. Vasco da Gama's voyage to India is not just about the journey of one man or one nation. It's a testament to human resilience and the unquenchable spirit of exploration. It's a tale of how curiosity can change the course of history, of how one voyage can connect the world in ways previously unimaginable. Vasco da Gama had accomplished what no man had before, forging a direct sea route from Europe to Asia. This was the dawn of a new era, an era of exploration, discovery, and global trade. The successful voyage to India was just the beginning of Vasco da Gama's legacy. Let's dive into his later voyages, the continued impact he had on the world, and the legacy he left behind. After his triumphant return from India in 1499, da Gama's fame skyrocketed. He was hailed as a hero, and rightly so, yet this was not the end of his journey. He embarked on 2 more voyages to India, each one shaping the course of history in its own way. In 1502, he set sail for his second voyage, this time as an admiral leading a fleet of 20 ships. His primary mission was to solidify Portugal's dominance in the spice trade and to establish a permanent presence in India. Da Gama's tactics were ruthless, sometimes even brutal, but they were undeniably effective. Upon his return to Portugal, he retired from active exploration. However, he continued to influence Portuguese policies, particularly concerning India. His knowledge and experience were invaluable, and in 1524 he was appointed as the Viceroy of India. His brief tenure as Viceroy was marked by efforts to strengthen Portuguese control and establish a colony in India. Da Gama's life was a series of extraordinary adventures, but like all great tales, it had to end. In 1524, he fell ill and passed away in the city of Cochin, in the colony he worked so hard to establish. He was initially buried in India, but his remains were later returned to Portugal, where they rest to this day. His death marked the end of an era, but the beginning of his legacy. Vasco da Gama, once a simple naval officer, had changed the world. His journeys opened up new trade routes and brought different cultures into contact. His influence can still be felt today, in the blend of Portuguese and Indian cultures in parts of India, and in the spirit of exploration he embodied. Vasco da Gama, the man who had once been a simple naval officer, had become a symbol of exploration and discovery. His legacy continues to inspire us, reminding us of the power of curiosity, courage, and determination. Vasco da Gama's life was a testament to the power of courage, determination, and exploration. This remarkable man, born into a world limited by the boundaries of known geography, dared to push against those boundaries and forever altered our understanding of the planet. Born in Sines, Portugal, da Gama was instilled with a passion for the sea from an early age. His thirst for discovery was a driving force throughout his life, leading him to embark on an unprecedented journey that would change the world. The year was 1497, and da Gama was chosen by the King of Portugal to find a sea route to India. The goal was to bypass the treacherous overland routes that were dominated by Middle Eastern merchants, and it was a task that many thought impossible. Da Gama's journey was fraught with danger and uncertainty. He and his crew faced storms, hostile encounters, and the ever-looming threat of the unknown. Yet, they persevered, driven by their indomitable spirit and the desire to achieve what no man had accomplished before. After a journey of over 10 months, da Gama and his crew reached the shores of Calicut, India. This monumental achievement not only marked the first direct sea route from Europe to Asia, but it also opened the doors to an era of increased global trade and interaction. His voyages didn't just transform the world's understanding of geography. They also had a profound impact on global trade. The sea route to India allowed for the direct trade of spices, precious stones, and other goods between Europe and Asia, bypassing the expensive and dangerous land routes. This led to an economic boom in Europe and marked the beginning of the Age of Discovery. Vasco da Gama, a name written in the annals of history, a man who dared to venture into the unknown and change the world in the process. His life is a testament to the power of exploration and the indomitable human spirit. It reminds us that boundaries are often just illusions, waiting to be shattered by those brave enough to challenge them.